Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and welcome back to the garage for another tool review. And so what I have here are some breaker bars that we're going to talk about. This is the one that I've had for a while. It's a Craftsman one. It's been great. They do tend to loosen up here as they get some use, and you can try to tighten them down. But anyway, this is an 18-inch breaker bar, and it's done the job for quite a while and done really well for me. And what I want to talk about is I went out and bought another one, and this one's 24-inch, and so this one's a little bit bigger, gives you a little more leverage on it. And so the question is, which one should you buy? And in my opinion, I think it's good to have both, because more torque is usually a better thing, to have a little more leverage on there. But at the same time, you might also need a smaller one in some situations, or it won't fit inside of a wheel well or things of that matter. And just to illustrate this, this is an example here where I was using the breaker bar to release the brake bolts. And as you can see, it barely fits in the wheel well of the Yukon. So when you're working on something with even a smaller wheel well, like the Mustang or anything like that, it's even worse. So just keep in mind, it's good to have multiple sizes. It doesn't hurt to have different ones for different reasons. Something I did want to mention, as you're looking at these and you measure them out, this one claims to be, this is a Dewalt one, and it claims to be 24-inch. But what you'll notice is it's actually, if you're measuring it from pretty much the bar itself, it actually comes in at 23 inches. And so not until you have to actually extend this all the way out and measure from it completely extended, now it's barely coming in at that 24-inch mark, as you can see there. So keep that in mind with these breaker bars, that they measure them pretty much with this flat, and you're never using it that way. I mean you might turn a nut that way, but you're not going to break anything loose unless it's at the 90 degrees. So at the 90 degree mark even, you're losing that inch. So keep that in mind when you're buying one. In that case, it really makes sense to get the bigger one, as long as you don't have any restrictions with where you're trying to use it. So again, this one's been really good, and haven't had any real problems with it. It's pretty straightforward. It's a breaker bar. And so here's the new one. So this is a Dewalt, and this is the model number here. It's really small there up at the top. But I wanted to give this one a try. It's built really nicely machined. And something about it is it has a little cross hatching here at the bottom. And so it has a good feel to it, but this is going to be better if you're wearing gloves. It is kind of not too great of a feeling for your hand if you're trying to really pry on it. And I'm sure if you squeeze hard enough, it's going to leave indentations on your hand. The Craftsman one has kind of a better handle for hand use, I think, as far as the feel that you're going to get. But this one is definitely not going to slip out of your hand as you're trying to go on it. So anyway, really nice piece. We'll use it here on the garage, and I don't expect that we'll have any problems with it, but I'll definitely bring up anything that comes to mind as we begin to use it on car projects. One thing to note is I would also recommend getting the 1/2-inch drive breaker bars, as I have here, and you can always put the reducer on the end to take that down to the 3/8 inch. And so I don't think there's really a need to go out and buy a 3/8 inch breaker bar. You'll also notice here that on these reducers like this one, it's turned slightly at an angle on this part of it. So where this is squared off, once you put this on, it does turn it, maybe an 1/8 of a turn or something like that. But not really a big deal. But and different reducers are going to do different things, I'm sure. But anyway, that's a quick review of the breaker bars, and just wanted to point that out. It doesn't hurt to have several different sizes for different jobs. You're obviously going to have a lot more leverage with the bigger one, and sometimes though you'll need the smaller one to get into smaller jobs. So if you're going to break lug nuts loose or something, this one does a great job. And just a little tip on that too is I like these 1/2-inch drive I really like these 1/2-inch drive extensions to put on here, and it just gets the socket a little bit farther away from the tire. So you can see that when you put the breaker bar on the wheel, you're not getting that perfect 90-degree angle because the tire comes out, and so even with the deep socket, it's sticking in too far. So if you take one of these small extensions, you can now see how much easier you get that nice 90-degree angle out of it. And of course, it's, you know, not as strong that way. You want to be careful with it, but definitely works a lot better. So thanks for watching. I think both these brands do it just fine, the Craftsman and the Dewalt. A lot of other ones too have lifetime warranties. And so also the handle, texture, those kind of things, each brand will have both. So it's not, it doesn't really matter that much which one you get. But I'll put some links in the video description where you can buy these. And let me know anything you have to say about breaker bars as well in your experience and what you think's the best. Thanks for watching.